G'day guys, welcome to the channel. Today I'm doing the week on the wrist review with the Breitling Top Time B01 Mustang edition. Now this is the most recent 41mm iteration. I got this last week and I've been wearing it every single day, even in shitty weather like today. 41mm diameter, you've got a lug to lug of about 50.36 and a thickness of about 13.3, which most of that thickness is eaten up by the glass box with a 20mm lug width. So this could be the strap monster you're looking for. Now, long story short, I got this watch because I was in the market for a new watch. I wanted something a bit more sporty, a bit more fieldy, but at the same time, my preference was to get something a bit more racy. So in my current hype trend of race cars, racing, and obviously I bought a Mustang recently, if you've watched my videos, this was the perfect watch for me. Beautiful watch. I got this at a significant discount. Retail is about 10,500 on a strap, but look, I'm not going to tell you the percentage I got. All I'm going to tell you is there was a 7 in front of it. So once I saw the 7, it was game over. That's it. Pick it up, pack it up, boys. Let's buy the bitch. Now, in terms of a pros and cons, I'll start off with the cons, and I don't want to ramble on too long about, the cons and the details of it. I'll just give it to you straight. First con I have is the price. 10.5 grand. It is a lovely watch. The strap is built well. The deployment clasp is very sturdy. It feels of good quality. The actual case itself is finished to a great extent. The brushing looks sick. The polishing is great. The chronograph function is crisp, very responsive, accurate as fuck. And just the overall details and aesthetics is beautiful. The Highland green dial is nice. Everything about the watch is nice. However, with such strong competition and a bit of cannibalization within the Breitling range, 10.5 grand can get you a lot of other watches. So people won't necessarily get this watch because you can get a Navi timer. Why the fuck would I care about the Mustang watch when, number one, I'm not a racist or a race car driver. Number two, I don't care about the car, so to speak. And number three, there's a more iconic watch in the Breitling catalog, whatever, right? Navi timer. If I was just a new watch person without the need and passion for automotive, I'd go for the Navi timer. Same for the Omegas. I'd go for a Speedy because it's the same price, pretty much the same price. Without a significant discount, it doesn't offer good value for money. And yes, it isn't a value retention thing that we're trying to focus on. It's just what's going to give you the most happiness for your dollar. And I'm saying, like, if I'm going to be spending the same amount of money, but I don't give two fucks about cars, get the Speedmaster. However, if you do enjoy the aesthetics of this here, it is a good pick. Just the awkward thing is when you go for a glass box Carrera from Tag Heuer, it kind of looks like it's the same shit. You feel me? You just don't have a green, the same green, beautiful layout as the Breitling. So have a think about that as a pro or con to you. I think it's a con because if it wasn't for the Mustang on the box, I would have gotten the glass box instead. Hands down, straight up, I would have just gotten the glass box. Second con, if you have a smaller wrist, this shit ain't gonna fit ya. Now, Breitling do offer smaller straps. However, it's a mad fuck around to get the smaller straps. So here in Australia, in terms of the stock brown leather strap, because it looks the best on the stock brown leather strap with the green dial, it just looks the best. They have no smaller sizes. So you have to get that ordered in from Switzerland. It's gonna take 6 to 8 weeks to come in. By that time, most people have already lost wood. They would have just gone aftermarket instead. And a watch like this with a strap like this, the strap is worth the price. It is good quality. It's just a fuck around, right? So my wrist is actually growing. I'm in the middle of bulking at the moment. I'm in the middle of doing some hypertrophy exercises to strengthen my wrist because I want to achieve a lot of fitness goals. And I lost a lot of weight recently. I used to be about 80 odd kilos. I shredded all the way down to like in the early 70s. I got sick, so then I dropped down to 67, which was my lightest, and my wrist really took a hit. The smallest my wrist was when I lost all that weight was 161 millimeters. Now, after training back up again, and I feel strong as fuck, it's sitting at about 169 millimeters. On average, it was about 165 before, and that's about 6.5 inches. I'm wearing the strap on its tightest setting And it's extremely perfect for me. It's comfortable because I'm growing my wrist, right? Like there's no play. It doesn't move around my wrist. I can actually probably get away with putting it on the second last hole because my wrist has grown a fair bit in the last fortnight of me training. And look, why I say, no play, no movement. It's totally fine. Why I say to you, if your wrist is smaller than 6.5 or 6.4 inches, don't get this watch. It's not gonna fit you. You're gonna have a really bad time. And look, it's not gonna be worth your fuck around and money for it when it comes to getting the watch and just the strap not fitting. Unless you can get yourself a small strap, get that. Also with the mesh bracelet, because the lug to lug is a bit big, 50 and odd, call it 50.5 millimeters, the mesh bracelet actually flares out. So like here, I'm wearing it on the second tightest hole. There's no flare out because it's leather, right? It's pliable. The mesh will actually fucking shoot out, so to speak. So very limited for a lot of the smaller wristed people out there. Now, in terms of positives, we're done with the cons. That's it. There's only 2 cons. In terms of positives, look, I'll start off with just the finer details of this watch. The aesthetics and the way that the designers thought this watch out, I appreciate very much, from the display case back having the Mustang logo, the rotor looking like a steering wheel, to the racing stripes that are subtle in the middle of the dial. The squircle gives it that vintage vibe, and then the colorways. The color play is just beautiful with the orange, yellow, green, black. It just plays very, very well. The strap itself is very good quality, as I mentioned, and then the deployant buckle is just a nice premium feeling touch to the overall watch. How it wears on my, oh fuck, I don't even know how big my wrist is anymore. 169 millimeter wrist. It fits very comfortably. Like, it doesn't play around. It still stays within the wrist span. It's very light as well on the wrist, and then the chronograph function does feel very crispy. On the sides of the case, you've got brushing, and then the face of the case is that polished steel. Overall, it is a very simple watch. However, it's a very beautiful wearing watch. You would think green, orange, and yellow would be hard colors to match with on a day-to-day basis. I found this watch to be versatile as fuck. Like, I was wearing it to my car meets, wearing my all brown leather jacket. We got the brown RM Williams, and it suited the business during the week when I was going to work. I wore my navy suit. I also wore my linen jackets, sports coats, things of that nature, just different types of suits. Totally fine. Shit, I'm bumming today. So today is my day off. I'm actually going to go drive out tomorrow to do some farm activities, and I'm just bumming around, and shit, like, it just suits the business. It just suits very, very well. And something about the vintage charm just gets me going, right? It gets me really appreciative of what Breitling was trying to do with this series of Top Time. Look, without rambling on too long, the watch, to be honest with you, in this week I've had it, I've loved it because I'm more of an emotional purchaser nowadays when it comes to these things, luxury goods, right? And I have a personal connection with it. However, for you, the viewer, it's a very 50-50 watch. Like, I put myself in the perspective of a non-car guy who doesn't give a fuck about the Mustang, and it's a coin toss, man. Like, I wouldn't recommend this watch for anyone that's just getting into the game, that doesn't really have a connection with these brands, these car brands and automotive brands, because there's just so many other better watches out there for the money, for the same money, so to speak. But look, that's my thoughts. Beautiful watch. I don't think I'll be getting it off the collection. Like, when I sell my Mustang, then yeah, I'll fuck this off. But until that day comes, I'm gonna enjoy it the way it was intended, and hopefully not crash into some crowds. That's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you next one. Take care.